Russia's foreign ministry spokesperson says no one should doubt that Ukrainian fighters from the Azovstal steel plant will be treated humanely. But Amnesty International says the way Russia has cast the surrendered soldiers as neo-Nazis raises serious concern about their treatment as prisoners of war. And the group says the fighters should have immediate access to the Red Cross. Well, Yuri Suk is the advisor to Ukraine's defense minister. He joins me now live. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
So I understand, I want to start with the fact that we know that there are still some top Ukrainian commanders inside that steel plant in Mariupol. What are your concerns for them right now? And do you have any communications with them?
Well, at the moment, as our military and political command have said many times during the past 24 hours, this special operation still continues. This special operation, which was made possible thanks to the efforts of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the Intelligence Service of Ukraine, as well as the International Red Cross and the representatives of the UN. So considering that this special operation, special rescue operation still goes on, our main focus is now on ensuring that everyone who is still in Azovstal steel plant, every Ukrainian warrior is rescued and in future safely delivered back to Ukraine.
For now, we know that over 1,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been bussed out of that steel plant. They're being held prisoners by Russia. What can you tell us about their welfare and who is negotiating their release?
Well, first of all, I would like to stress that according to the official Ukrainian information, which was announced by the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, yesterday 211 soldiers were evacuated to the city of Olenivka in the temporarily occupied territory, and another 53 heavily wounded Ukrainian warriors have been evacuated to Novoazovsk, which is also a city in the temporarily occupied part of Ukraine. So these are the numbers. And as for the next stages of this process, our military command and as well as our political leadership have repeatedly said that this is a very difficult, a very complex, and at times very fragile negotiating process. We count and rely heavily on the third parties such as International Red Cross and the UN. And everybody understands that disclosing any specific details of the negotiating process can actually put this process at jeopardy and put it at risk. So at the moment, I can assure you that all the efforts are being made to continue the special rescue operation, but the details are kept secret for a reason which you understand, I'm sure.
And I'm wondering what else could put those negotiations at risk. I'm talking about the fact that the first Russian soldier is facing a war crimes trial. He's pleaded guilty. It's just the first. Is there a fear that this trial could impact negotiations to bring back your Ukrainian soldiers, given that Russia has already come out accusing them of war crimes?
Well, the war trial, which you are referring to, indeed continued today in Kyiv, and this is a very straightforward case of a Russian soldier killing an unarmed Ukrainian civilian in the Sumy region. So there are so many of such cases, and of course the Ukrainian prosecutors are very carefully and meticulously collecting evidence. And we have said it many times that every war criminal who has committed a war crime in our land, and these war crimes have been numerous. I mean, we often say that there is hardly any war crime that has not been committed, unfortunately, during the last 2.5 months in Ukraine. So from this perspective, this war trial today is part of a process which we have announced before. And of course, we hope that the negotiating process with respect to the rescue operation in Azovstal will continue as planned.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Yuri Suk, advisor to Ukraine's defense ministry. We appreciate your time today and we wish you all the best as these negotiations continue.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Still to come tonight, crushed dreams in Afghanistan. We'll show you how women and girls are learning how to live under Taliban rule.